Thank you for coming on to my little video here. You're 11 years old. We've had conversations in the past about money, about investing. I think you sound very knowledgeable for an 11-year-old. I was very
I
surprised
started at 10 though.
at 10. What does that mean when you say you started thinking about it?
Yeah, it was just in my car and I just started thinking about it. I'm like, I'm gonna start doing it.
What made you think about it? Was it a video you watched? Was it your parents?
I don't know. I just felt like doing it.
Okay. That's pretty incredible. I remember I was probably 15 years old and my dad started talking to me about investing. One thing that really stuck with me was passive income. He said, "Ryan, you can make money in your sleep." And that blew my mind. And I was like, wait, I'm sorry. You said what? You can make money while I'm asleep. My money is working like that. That blew my mind. And I was 15 years old, and I was just talking to your mom earlier, and she was telling me stories just about how you are already thinking about money, and you're 11. You're ahead of the game. I think that's pretty incredible. I think that's a very good thing. So I have some questions for you. So imagine $1 million
Oh God, that's
just fell through the ceiling, boom, landed right in your lap. $1 million. What would you do with it? And be honest.
To be honest, I'd probably put like 500K in investing.
And then immediately 500,000 in investing, and then other 500,000.
I'd spend probably some of that on this bike I want, and then I'd just save my money, see what else.
Okay. So 999,000 in investing and saving, and then 1,000 on the bike.
Yeah.
I like it. That's probably kind of how I would do it. I think a lot of people would just
Blow their money away.
yeah. So that's pretty disciplined. So basically, but yeah, I like that. I like that answer. Is that an honest answer or
Probably an honest answer.
So-
I'd probably put 500K in investing, and then get more money from that.
So you said you're going to buy a bike, which is how much is that bike going to cost?
About $1,200 maybe. I don't know.
Okay. So I said $1 million. So you would have $998,000 roughly.
Well, I'd put 500K in investing.
Okay, and then the other 498,000. You could put it all in investing
Yeah,
because
probably.
because you can have that. Those investments can just give you money each year, and then from there, you can spend a little bit. So you could put. What I would do is just put it all in investing, and each year it gives me so you get 4% a year. That's going to be
That's like $4.
off of $1 million, $40,000 a year.
Oy.
Every year, 40,000. And the crazy thing is it's passive income. So I know we've had conversations before about passive income where you don't have to put in extra effort to make this money. So when you have it invested, say in an index fund where you spread it across 500 companies, you don't have to work for it. Once you have the money and you have it invested, you go to sleep, and each year, say off of the $1 million, it would probably be closer to 70,000, maybe 100,000 a year passively. So if that $1 million just landed in your lap, I think what you should do is
It's going to be heavy.
yeah, it probably hurt. Depends if it's all in ones, it'd probably crush you.
Oh God.
Or if it's all in hundreds, but I would put it all in investing, and then then the interest you're getting each year, from there you can spend. If you get 70,000 each year, you can easily buy a bike. So you put it all in investing, and then each year get like 70,000, maybe 100,000. What do you think is the biggest waste of money?
If you just take all of that money and spend it on just one thing, or just blow it away in like a day or something.
What do you think people buy that is a big waste of money? Where
Probably the biggest trending thing. It's usually that.
that's smart. Yeah, I would agree. For me, I think when I see people in like really nice cars, if they're spending a lot of their paycheck on it, it's like, I think that's kind of a waste of money, because I think most people do it just to look cool. Like I drive a regular boring car.
Well, it doesn't matter if you stand out. I mean, if your car's ugly, you're probably going to stand out anyways. Because it's ugly. People are going to notice it.
Yeah, that's true. Have fun or lock in while you're young.
What do you mean, like, by lock in?
Like work hard and be boring and not save your money so you can have a stronger future, so future Dean can be good, or have fun now while you're 11.
I'll probably save money, and just sometimes when I get the free time, I'll do fun.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the answer. The way I asked it, it's like only one or the other, but in reality,
Equal, basically. When you have the time, you can have fun.
yeah, I think you just have to find the balance. For me, I lean pretty heavy on saving money, investing it for my future. I like to have fun. If it does not cost a lot of money, I like to play basketball for free. I could just go to the park and just do that. It doesn't cost me anything, and I have a lot of fun doing it. Yeah, having fun does not have to cost a lot of money. But yeah,
Unless you're going to, like, Sky Zone or something.
yeah, that can be pretty expensive sometimes. Okay. So let's talk about investing versus saving. So how much money do you have right now?
About $300 or $400 because I'm saving.
Okay. Very good. So if you had $400, say $350, you could save that and put it away in a box and lock it away for 10 or 20 years. If you did nothing with it, it'll just be that same amount 20 years later. Or you could invest it, and
Then you'll get more money 20 years later.
there you go. Yeah, I think that's a big difference there. It depends on how you invest it. You can get a higher interest rate. So I think it's better to look at a very safe and reliable return on your investment. So instead of trying to invest it and turn your $350 into $3,000, in a week, that usually comes with a lot of risk. You could lose it all. It could, and a lot of times that's what happens if you try to do something very risky and say I'm gonna turn it into $10,000 tomorrow, and then boom, it goes to zero. I think it's better to look at slow and steady, like 5% per year growing, because that you're much more likely to get that and have it compound. That compound interest is beautiful. Your mom was telling me you were doing the calculations, looking at your $100 investment, and the next year it turned into $104, right? When we were looking at getting a 4% interest rate. And then the next year it's $108, and then it keeps growing and growing. Were you doing those calculations? You're trying to, that you're 11 years old. That is so great that you're looking at that. It's pretty impressive. I think you're going to be doing very well when you're older. So I'm 30 years old now. I'm Unk status.
Not really.
I'm getting there. I'm a millionaire now. So, but I used to, when I was 15 years old, like I said, I was already thinking about money. I was thinking about passive income, compound interest. I was like, how can I do that. I want to save all this money and start investing it as early as I can and have it grow. So when I'm
Like
30,
a bunch of money.
oh yeah. So when I'm 30 years old, 40, 50, 60, 70, and I don't want to have to work a job when I'm super old. I want to be able to retire early and do whatever I want. So right now, I'm in a position to where I can maybe retire in a few years, like maybe 5 years, maybe less, when I'm like 35. And I'm still young enough. I can travel the world. I can play basketball. I can do all this stuff. And for the rest of my life, be able to not work. It's like a summer vacation for life. And the reason I'm able to do that is because early on I had discipline. And instead of, like when I was 18 years old, I had a good job where I could buy a luxury car, very nice, like a Mercedes or BMW. But instead, I went on Google and I said, what is the cheapest car in America? And it was the Nissan Versa, and it was very cheap. I bought it for $11,000.
Wow.
It's brand new. Yeah. That was back in 2014, 2015. So you have inflation, but I went for the cheapest car, even though I knew if I was driving a nicer one, I could afford it. I had the money to do it.
Then you're blowing a lot more money away.
There you go. And I knew if I had that nicer car, girls would be looking at me differently. It would get more attention. It would look cooler. Friends would be like, oh, wow, that's a nice car. I knew that, but I had the discipline to say, no, that costs way too much. I would rather save that money, get a cheap car, and that difference.
Then you could buy more stuff if you wanted to.
Exactly. So at that time when I was 18, basically I could say either a Mercedes-Benz today or a Lamborghini tomorrow. Maybe not literally tomorrow, but in the future. Lamborghini, Bugatti, whatever, like later on. So I think that's a good mindset to have. I also have to recognize I'm pretty extreme with I'm very cheap in like an extreme way. It works for me. This is not the only way. Like I have brothers, they have different styles. They have more fun while they're younger. That's not a terrible way to go. I think there's a balance, but for me that it's worked. I want to be able to retire in like a few years, and that's because I was disciplined. I was cheap. I didn't care what my little cheap car looked like to other people. If they laughed at it, nobody really laughed at it.
That's their opinion.
Yeah, there you go. And the reality was nobody really did laugh. Nobody cared. They're like, okay, it's a car. Yeah, you have a car.
If he likes that car, then he can like it.
There you go. That mentality helped me become a millionaire. At 25, I became a millionaire. And it sounds like I'm bragging, but
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just letting you know. So I'm telling you how I got there. Because I can see it in you. Based off of the conversations we've had, based off of what the conversations I've had with your mom. Like, I told her I think you're gonna be rich when you're older. I can tell, because at 11 years old, you're not just hearing the words. Like, it sounds like you're actually understanding it. I'll talk to adults and I'll talk about investing, and they're like, yeah, whatever. I just want to spend my money on a super nice car, super nice this.
The most trending things.
Yes.
Anything they want.
Yes, adults, and you're 11 years old, and you sound like you really understand this, and it reminds me of when I was 15, but you're 11. I think you're starting even earlier, so you're already doing the calculations. That's what I would do all the time. I would calculate, okay, if I get a 10% return on my investments, how much money, if I invested this much, how much money would I have at 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70? And it's like, when I'm 80 years old, I'm going to have this many millions of dollars. So I just got excited doing all the numbers and stuff. And I see that in you. And I believe you'll be doing pretty well financially when you're older. Now let's talk about specific investments. Real estate versus stocks. So those are two of the major ways to invest. There are many different ways to invest, but those are two of the popular roads to go down. Real estate, that's where you buy a house and you let somebody live in there and they pay you rent each month. So let's say the house costs $100,000 and you let somebody live in there, they pay you rent. And let's say after all of because you would have expenses. Are you you need to go somewhere?
No.
Okay. So if you buy the house for $100,000, you'll still have expenses. You'll have to pay the water bill and the property taxes and all that. But let's say you calculate all that. You take the rent income, and you subtract all of the expenses, and you're left with $10,000 every year of profit. You compare that to how much you invested, which is $100,000. This is probably, if you're not seeing the numbers, it's hard to grasp this. I'll try to keep it simple numbers. So let's say you profit $10,000 each year from the house that you paid $100,000 for. So again, you paid $100,000 and you'll get back $10,000 each year. In other words, that is a 10% return on your investment, because your investment is $100,000 and what you're getting in return is $10,000 each year. And $10,000 is 10% of $100,000. That was a lot I just said. Is that hard to follow, or
not really? A little bit though.
Okay, so if you got $20,000 a year from your $100,000 investment, what percent is that? 20,000 of 100,000.
2% or
you got the first number right, but 20%. Close, yeah. You just the zero, yeah.
So it keeps adding the percentage every year or something?
So that would be compound interest. So I was just saying, if in the first year you get $10,000 from that house, from your $100,000 investment, that's a 10% return on your investment. Now, in that first, so I'm being very confusing right now. I'm sorry. Let's say, so if you had $100,000, you buy the house, you gave the money, you don't have that money anymore. You bought the house, but what you have is that asset that gives you money back. So in that first year, you get 10,000. The second year, you get another 10,000, and you keep. Then after 10 years, how much money would you have after 10 years if you get 10,000 each year?
$200,000 or 100,000?
100,000.
Oh.
So, what could you buy with that?
You could buy another house.
There you go. Exactly. Now, what do you have? You already have the house. The first house, you still have it. And it's giving you $10,000 each year.
And then you could buy another house, which will give you more money.
There you go. So after you accumulated that 100,000, you buy your second house. How much money are you getting each year?
20,000?
There you go. Now, how fast is it going to take you to get your third house? Because you have 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. How long is it going to take you to get enough money to buy your third house?
5 years.
There you go. So it took you 10 years to, after having that first house, to buy your second one.
So the more houses you have is the more money you get.
There you go. So now that when you had the second house, it took you 5 years to buy your third one. Now you have, how much money do you have now coming in with 3 houses?
30,000.
30,000 every year. Boom, 30,000, 30,000, 30. So how long is it going to take you to buy your fourth house? That's harder to calculate, but it's like 3.5 years to get your fourth house.
About 3.5 years.
Yeah. And you'll have, there you go. 4 houses. Then when you have 5 houses, it's going to be 50,000. It'll only take you 2 years to buy another house. And then it just explodes. You'll have so many houses and then it's passive income. So that's real estate. And then another form of investing is stocks. Now, that one depends on how you do it, but to keep it simple, if you buy a share, if you buy one stock, let's say, you actually literally become part owner. Say again? Part owner of the company. Genius. 11 years old. Come on. You already know. You buy one share. What is it? What happens when you buy one share?
You're part of the company.
Yep. You own part.
A little piece of the company.
There you go. You're a business owner. Like if you buy one share of Apple, you own Apple. Not all of it, just a little sliver of it. So, and it's really easy. When you do that, you have the CEO working every day for Apple. He literally, you can think of it like he's actually working for you. You're the owner of the company. The CEO is a hired manager, basically, the top level. But you're the owner. So he works for you. When you buy one share, you own Apple, just a small piece. You can own any company that's publicly traded. Yeah. I think we were talking before, and what was one stock you were looking at?
The first time we were talking about it, it was PopMart, but that wasn't publicly traded. And then it was either WWE, Mattel, or Jazzwares. I don't know. There was others I don't remember.
So Mattel, I actually looked into it a little bit briefly, and it's kind of interesting. I like the price at it. We can look at it right now. There's a difference between a good business and a good investment. That's a tough concept to understand. Most adults don't understand this.
It says today it went up.
Yeah, on Friday. It's the weekend right now, so the market is closed. But on Friday,
on Saturdays and Sundays, you don't get like money or anything.
It just doesn't. It's not actively being traded. So if you own one share, the price is not fluctuating over the weekend. But I just wanted to tell you. So there's a difference between a good business like Mattel and a good investment. Try to figure out what the difference is. Try to think about it. It's a hard question.
What was the question again?
There's a difference between a good business and a good investment. What is the difference? I'd be very surprised if you do answer. It's hard.
Does the business like give you a little bit more money or less money, and then investment gives you a little bit more?
Maybe. I wouldn't quite answer it like that, but I'll tell you what I think it is. It's the difference between a good business and a good investment is the price. So, in other words, a lemonade stand, consider that a business.
So basically, whichever one is like cheaper and gives you more money, is that what you're going for?
Yeah. Yes, a good. You want a good return on your investment. So let's think about a lemonade stand. If you buy, let's say there's a lemonade stand that makes profit $250 a year. Okay. Let's say that's a good business. And you can buy the business, and you have an employee working there. It's a little girl, she's selling lemonade. You own the business, and after you pay her expenses, you're left over with a profit of $250 every year. Let's agree that's a good business. But if you pay too much for that business, it's a bad investment. If you pay a low price, it's a great investment. So if that lemonade stand business is giving you $250 a year, or if you buy it, what's a good price to pay for that business? So is it 10 times that amount? So where you make your money back in 10 years, is it 100 times that amount? So let's say $250 in profit a year times 100. Would you pay $25,000 if you had 25,000? Would you pay $25,000 for that lemonade stand business that earns $250 a year?
Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That would be a bad investment. Same business, it's still the lemonade stand, good traffic area, whatever, good business. But if you pay $25,000,
I think you're overpaying.
And that's where it's a good business, but it's a bad
payment?
It's a bad investment.
Oh.
Okay, so let's say...
So like you get paid, but you have to pay them back or something? Like it's more expensive to pay them back?
Because you would have paid, if you paid $25,000, you bought the business. So you would give up $25,000, but what you get in return is that business that generates $250 each year. So it's going to take you, that first year you're going to have $250, second year $500. It would take you about 100 years to get your initial investment back. So that would take too long. That's not a good, not a good return on your investment. But what if the price for the business was $1,000?
Like each year, or do you get paid for that?
You pay $1,000, and what you get is the lemonade stand business that runs itself. You don't have to do anything. You get $250 of profit each year.
No, I probably wouldn't.
I probably would. That it's because you can make $250 each year. You're going to get, it would take 4 years. You get all your money back. And then after that, you just keep making money. It's just all profit at that point.
Right now I would.
Yeah. So you see it now? Mm-hmm. Like you would pay, if you had $1,000, you pay it, you'd give up that $1,000, but you're going to get $250 each year. Boom. So after 4 years, look, you're at $1,000.
Again.
There you go. And then if you want, maybe there's another lemonade stand down the...
or an ice cream truck.
Or an ice cream truck. And boom, you buy that. And then you get another... Now you have $250 each year. So $500 each year. That's compound interest. And let's say the business is running itself. That's also passive income. So that's what I mean by there's a difference between a good business and a good investment. Even the best business on the planet can be a bad investment if you pay too much for it. So you can also look at like real estate. If you're going to get $10,000 a year from the rent profit, let's say, you don't want to pay $1 million for that. Maybe you'll pay $100,000. And if you paid $50,000, that would be a super good investment. So that's the difference there. So when we look at Mattel, I think it's pretty attractively priced. You don't have to remember what I'm saying right now, the PE ratio is 8.42, which means you would if you buy this whole business, you would get your money back in about 8.42 years. And then after that, it doesn't work exactly like that, but it's kind of it's kind of a rough estimate.
Another company I'd be interested in, I don't know if it's the real name of the company, but Yasma, I think that's the company name. Oh, it's not publicly traded.
Okay. So there's real estate and there's stocks. Real estate is owning a house and the tenant pays you rent. Stocks is owning a small piece of a business like Mattel. But an easy way to be in stocks is an index fund. Instead of just buying one business like Mattel, it's spreading your money across 500 of them. And you don't have to...
500 of the things that the company owns?
No. Good question. 500 companies.
Oh.
So you'd be buying Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Mattel, all these bunch of companies. It spreads it across. So some of the companies might do poorly, but some will do well. And over the past 100+ years, this method has worked and given a respectable return on investment, where you're not going to get extremely rich in a year, but it's also very solid in it. Doing that allows you to take advantage of passive income and compound interest at the same time. It's super easy. It's extremely passive, meaning you don't have to do a lot of work. You don't have to do a lot of research. You put it in there, you press the buy button, and then you go to sleep. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to watch it. It just grows. Your money is working for you. You're asleep. It's as if the money in your pocket jumps out, grows legs, runs, goes to work. There you go.
In a little suit and tie.
There you go.
A little briefcase.
Yes, exactly. It's working for you while you're asleep. Your money and the money that your money makes starts making money.
It's like if you pay your money in the investment, just jumps out, starts walking, makes its money.
There you go.
It's like it's born.
There you go.
It just instantly starts working.
Yeah. And at first it's a slow process, but over time it really starts to grow. If you give it and you're 11 years old, the earlier you start, the better. So you can start investing, and by the time future Dean will thank you.
Happy.
Will be this is your 30th birthday present, your 40th, 50th, 60th birthday present. Even earlier, it'll grow over. You don't have to wait until you're 80 and then you can enjoy your money. It grows over time. So you can enjoy it in different stages of your life. But yeah, whatever the age is, the later it is, the bigger it grows. Are you getting hungry?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to pause it? Or
Maybe.
most lottery winners and professional athletes go broke. Why do you think that is?
Because they spend their money way too fast.
Yep. Yeah. They get a ton of, maybe they get $10 million, and you could just live off of that forever. No problem. But I think if it just drops in your lap and you're not good with money.
Most people would probably just spend it instantly.
Yeah. It'd be gone and that's it. And they'll buy things that depreciate in value, that are bad investments. They'll buy expensive cars.
You could buy like just a few things and then just keep the rest of the money. Maybe invest that if you want to invest it.
Yeah, I agree. So let's say you found $1,000 under this couch or wherever it is. I'm not saying there is. Calm down. Let's say you found $1,000. You're walking down the street, you found it. I know I asked the question about the million, but 1,000 is like a more real number.
Yeah, $1 million on the floor would just be absolutely insane.
Yeah. So $1,000, what are you actually doing with it? Act literally honestly.
I'll spend 500 on something and then put the rest in an investment.
Interesting. And then where would you invest? You just talked to me about investing. What would you do?
With what?
The 500, the money you're going to invest.
I don't know. I'd probably put it into one of the companies. I don't know what a company I could do though.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we can talk more about if that were to happen. But anyway, I would like to give you $1,000, and I want to see what you do with it. I would like for you to. I can see in you that I think you'll do well in the future. So I'd want to give you this. I asked your mom; she said it was okay. So I'll give it to your parents, and they can put it in. You already have a brokerage account open, and I think there's $100 in there.
Yeah, I think. Or that was just to open the investment account.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd like to give you 1,000, and well, your mom didn't know. I didn't tell her it was 1,000. I just asked if I could give you a little bit of money. She's probably thinking like $20 or something.
$20.
But I would like to see you. It's your money. You can do what you want with it.
The rest of the 500, I don't know what I'll do with that. I'll just put one of the 500s in an investment and then get more money a few years later or something.
Okay. So you can, I think you've got to really think about what you want to do with it. I think at first you can just put it in investments, and then you can decide later. You can decide the next week. Like if it's the treasury bills, that's what I was recommending before. That it's like keeping it in a bank account, but a higher interest rate. So it'll have it grow passively. So I think we should think about it, because I would recommend you save it up and you have it grow. Another way you could go is you were telling me you like YouTube. You have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Do you want to say what it is? If you don't have to.
I can't, because I haven't face revealed. I don't want them to see my face yet.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe you buy some YouTube equipment. This could be something that gives you money. If you get a lot of subscribers on YouTube, maybe you start making money. So with this $1,000, a little bit of it, so I don't know, maybe you buy some equipment that you really need. You don't have to buy the equipment. You can just use your phone, your tablet, what you've been using. But if there's something that would really help your YouTube business, maybe you could. But I recommend at first you invest it, and then you really got to think about if you wanted to spend on it, because you were talking about getting a razor.
Yeah, that's like $300 at Walmart. I'm gonna use the money that I saved, the $300 that I had earlier. I'm gonna use that money to buy it.
Okay. And you're sure about that? How long have you been thinking about that?
Since I think Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
Since
I usually try to
Friday, yeah.
Like I said, I'm a millionaire. If I'm buying something like that, usually I'll take longer to buy like a little bike or something. I'll take a few weeks. I'll just think about it. Like I'll do the research. Oh, is this one better? Can I save money?
A little bit of research.
Yeah. I think it's hard to resist that temptation. This is when I talk about discipline. I know it would be very fun to get it. Maybe there's a different kind of bike you'd rather have. I think if you spent couple more weeks, maybe to think about it, maybe do more research, and maybe you wanted some other brand. Maybe another one is a little faster. Maybe
there was another one, but that one's the $1,000 one, and I need like $1,200 more to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you don't need that one.
Yeah, that's why I wanted the smaller one, or the cheaper one.
Yeah.
Like you said, your car was cheaper. That's better. You have more money to spend.
There you go.
Or put in investment.
So I think with this 1,000, before you make any purchase, I mean, first I would say just put it in the treasury bills, because you can pull it out like the next day. So that's safe. But I think take your time and think, what could this $1,000 grow to? But now it's a real question. Now it's a real dilemma.
Well, I do have some other ones, like other money that my parents wanted me to save so I can put it in investment. I said, that's fine. I just want some of the money so I can buy one of the bikes.
Would you rather have $1,000 today or 4,000 in 10 years?
4,000 in 10 years.
Okay, because that's what you can do. That's based off of getting a 15% return, which is pretty aggressive, but it's possible. What were you gonna say?
Nothing.
That if that's the real answer, that means you put that $1,000 away and you invest it and have it grow. And that you don't have to literally wait for the 10-year mark to have that. It'll grow over time. 5 years, it'll grow, and then 10 years. So we're gonna find out what we're gonna do with it, and I want to put it on my channel too.
I'll invest the 500.
500, maybe a little more. We'll see. If it were me, I don't know. That's hard. If I was 11 and I was given $1,000,
you'd probably spend it.
Me or most people?
Most people.
I think most people would blow it, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Candy and
this generation probably games, Robux, bikes.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to spend it on.
Yeah.
That could get you a lot of Robux though, but I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. You should really think about it. I know you want that bike. I know you want it. It's like, right. Well, that you already have the money yourself.
I'm not gonna spend the ones that you're gonna give me, but I'll spend my 300 on it.
So that 1,000 can just be all invested, right?
Yeah, and that 500 I'll just put it somewhere. See what I.
What do you mean that 500?
Because I'm gonna put 500 of the 1,000 in investment, then the other 500 I'll keep for something. I don't know.
Oh well, to me, I think it should just be all invested because you can get it back. If right now, if you put the 1,000 in the treasury bills, it's like saving it, but it's growing. So you can get it back the next week or the next day. So I would just hold it in the treasury bills. You're going to get like 4% a year or something. But that's what I would do. You got to go.
Huh?
Oh, you seem like you got to go.
No, I'm just moving like
okay.
this.
You got money to make. So yeah, I wanted to do that. Because I want to see, because I see it in you that I think you'll be wealthy one day, and maybe it'll be a little experiment what an 11-year-old does with $1,000. I'd like to make more videos. We'll follow up at a later time, see if you spent it all on candy, or if you invested it. We'll see. We'll talk more. We really got to think about. I recommend investing it all. This is future Dean. You got to think about future Dean, 20-year-old Dean, your 21st birthday, your 30th birthday. It just keeps growing bigger and bigger. So do you want to, you could get one of those nice bikes. Let's compare that. A nice electric bike today, because 1,000 plus your 300 is 1,300. That one today or in the future, a car, because you can you can invest the money and it grows enough to maybe you'll be able to buy a car with it instead of an electric. So it's a tough choice. I would probably invest it, but the 300 that you saved up, that was
for my birthday.
That's not unreasonable to want to buy that. That's not unreasonable. That's pretty fair. But I think with the 1,000, I think you should probably invest it all. You'll still have birthdays. You'll probably still get money. But this, I think the way to think about it is you forget about the money. You put it away, invest it, and let it just grow. And future Dean will be happy. Future Dean will be like, thank you, 11-year-old Dean. Thank you very much. If you can talk to future Dean, maybe tell future Dean, if you're going to invest this money, tell future Dean, you're welcome, future Dean, for investing.
You're welcome.
Yeah. There you go. So you may, when you're 20, 30 years old, you may see this video of 11-year-old you investing this money. And then how much will it be? $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 in the future if you invest it? You just gave yourself $10,000 in the future. You're welcome, future Dean. So there you go. I think that was good. I'll let you go. You look like you got business to tend to. He's hungry.
I need hot dog.
Hot dogs. Yeah, I'm gonna get some too.